Hey guys, welcome back to Thomann's Bedroom Producers channel. My name's Clodagh and I'm a music producer from London. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my music production journey and how I built a following on social media with very little experience and very basic equipment. So let's get into it. So for me, I've always really been into music my whole life. I started playing the guitar when I was about 7 years old and I absolutely just fell in love with it. All throughout school, I was always playing the guitar at any opportunity I could in like school performances, talent shows, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. I also taught myself the piano when I was at school. I just used YouTube tutorials just to get the basic sort of chord shapes down, and as long as I could play along to a song, I was happy with that. And at university, I studied sociology and music. It wasn't a practical music course at all. It was more theoretical, like I did like philosophy of music. There was a lot of essay writing and not a lot of actual practical music. So I really only got into music production during lockdown in 2020. I had a free trial of Logic Pro X on my MacBook. I was trying to record a few covers, honestly, to just pass the time. And then I saw a few YouTube videos about music production, like the Genius Deconstructed videos, which I love, Kenny Beats videos, Timbaland's beat critiques. I started watching all these YouTube videos and it really opened my mind into a whole new world of what music production actually was. And then from there, I started watching YouTube tutorial channels like Ocean, Eldre, Sarah Too Ill. Once I saw how people were breaking down beats and breaking down instrumentals, I honestly started to listen to music differently, trying to hear where each sound came from and how they made that sound. And that was when I became completely obsessed with it and thought it was something that I could actually do. A couple weeks later, I decided to buy my first piece of musical equipment and I bought myself an Akai MPK Mini. And I can honestly say this is the best investment I've ever made in my life. Not because it's technically the best keyboard in the world, but because it's what actually got me started making music. Once I got this, there was no looking back. And starting is honestly the hardest part, especially with music production. It can seem quite overwhelming. There's so many different DAWs you can use. There's so much different gear you can buy. But I just fell in love with the process of it. I'd listen to my favourite beats and the different elements that made up the beats, so the synth sounds, the bass lines, the drum patterns. I would try and deconstruct it and make it myself, because I thought if I could remake all these different sounds from all my favourite beats, then that would help me in the future making my own music. It was during the time that TikTok was absolutely blowing up, so I thought now that I had a keyboard, maybe I could make my own videos showing how I've deconstructed the beats that I'm remaking. I honestly started doing it just to show my friends and my family what I was doing with my time in lockdown. I was sending it to all my friends from school, my friends from uni, and I didn't really expect anything from it, so I just kept making the videos really for fun. I think it was the fourth video I posted was a remake of The Real Slim Shady by Eminem. So I posted the video, and when I went to sleep, I think I had 400 followers. And I think I woke up the next day with over 10,000. It was absolutely crazy. So I saw that people were liking the videos, so I just kept making them, kept making them, kept making them. I was starting to make some of my own music as well at the time, but it was mostly just these remakes, and I was posting them week after week after week. I think it was a great way to learn. I was doing it so often, so quickly. It was really that sort of 10,000 hours theory. If you just keep going at something, you're going to get better and better. And bear in mind, I was really new to producing when I was posting these videos, so I think people like the authenticity of it. They could see my production skills growing as well. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't perfectly mixed by any means. I was so focused on just deconstructing the sounds, getting the sounds right to me, to my ear. I didn't have any plugins apart from the stock plugins on Logic. I don't think I had any sample packs. And for me, I think it was a really good way to start because it showed me what I could do with such little equipment. That's what encouraged me to continue making music. If I can make something good out of that, I thought the only way is up from there. And in reality, I think people worry a little bit too much about what gear to buy at the beginning. Being creative with what you've got is one of my best tips. It's honestly amazing how many free apps there are, like BandLab, GarageBand, and they're all good enough to start on. Get yourself up and running, and then later on down the line, you can upgrade your gear, upgrade your equipment. And I grew a following as I was learning. It pushed me to be consistent, and I think it really benefited me in the long run. Definitely advise new and upcoming producers, post your music. Although you're new to it and think it might not be the best thing in the world, someone else might think it's the best thing in the world. And it's also really nice to look back on and watch how much you've grown. I'd already had like a catalogue of content that I could look back on. And now looking back on it, it's 3 years ago, 3 years ago, and I can see how I've improved so much already since then. So I would advise people to just if you want to, post your music because you never know, people might love it. So after building this following, I really started to believe in myself with music, and I'd 100% decided that it's what I want to do in my life and my career, and finally started buying some other musical equipment, not just the Akai MPK. I started to expand my production. I primarily focused on hip hop beats at the beginning because that's what I was listening to and that's what I was loving. And right now I'm really enjoying making a wide variety of different genres. I've really been into sampling recently, like going to different record stores, sampling vinyl records, finding little bits of records that people might not normally like to sample and making something amazing out of that. And that's what I'm loving at the moment. But next week I might be back doing my drum and bass remixes. So it honestly just depends on the mood. So that's another tip I would give, is make what you love. I know a lot of the time if you see, on Instagram, a lot of people making trap beats or drill beats, you're not into making that type of music. Don't let that discourage you. I think there's an audience for every type of music and every type of production. And there's always room to learn more and grow more. And yeah, that's basically it. That's how I got started in music production. I'm hoping that you guys can learn a lot from all the videos that are on this channel. I'm really excited to post some more, and subscribe to the channel for some more tips and tricks and future videos on music production, music recording, and yeah, hopefully see you soon. Peace.